Welcome back, everybody. Episode 9 of Deep Dive. My name is Jazz. Appreciate you guys all taking the time. Tonight, I got a very special guest. You may have seen her on previous episodes. We've had her a few times, including our 24-hour stream. She had the honor of being with us when we sold out our mint. But let me introduce to you guys, if you're not familiar, with our good friend Neppah. Hey, what is up?
What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys for bringing me back on, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. I mean, rightfully so. You got a lot of information in that brain of yours, and I like to pick at it because the space is ever learning. I'm always learning from others, and hopefully we get some education today. Maybe you'll take us to school.
Probably, yeah, because I don't know how to stop talking sometimes. So we'll see where we'll go.
No, it's all right. So, how's your day been? How's everything going for you?
It's been going pretty good. Not too busy today, but also got like a consistent amount of work. I really love working. I don't know, but I found myself to really enjoy like having a job and having things to do. So it was good. Took a little short nap too, so I'm excited. I'm ready to get
Nice,
back
nice.
into the day, ready to work for a few more hours. How are
Yeah.
you, Jazz?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you're staying warm. I know all of
Oh,
America's been in like a super cold front.
man, yeah. We didn't like see snow all last year, then this year starts and we see it for like a week. Yeah, I'm keeping warm. It's definitely the type of weather where you want to warm up your car before because I'm not getting in a car that's like 8-degree Fahrenheit weather. Not only that, but I feel like it's terrible for your car for it to sit in that type of weather and then you just start it back up and then drive 50 miles per hour on it.
Yeah,
Um,
for
but
sure.
yeah, staying warm. Just wanted to point that out there so people can take care of their cars too, because I don't think people know that. Not many people know to do that.
I won't rub it in that I don't have to deal with that anymore, but I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, and I am in a location where, like, I need a car. If you don't have a car, it's pretty inconvenient. Kentucky's just, like, a lot of land. A lot of
Yeah.
land, a lot of streets, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm down in Florida, so I just meant it's been warm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, like, cold to you is, like, 60 degrees right now.
Yeah, that I like literally like it's been getting down to like 40 at night, and I'm like, it is freezing. And
Oh
I'm
my
from Jersey
gosh.
originally. I lived in Jersey most of my life. So I'm used to winters. I'm used to feet
Mhm.
snow. I used to live by the ocean, so I'm used to breezes. I'm used to,
Yeah.
I'm just used to cold weather. But I've been in Florida for like 3 years now and forget about it. I go outside, it's like 40 degrees. I'm like hoodie, sweatshirt,
Oh my
shivering.
gosh. Yeah, no, 40 degrees over here would feel like spring to us.
T-shirt and shorts. I know. It's like 40 degrees after winter is like summer. You're just like, yeah, t-shirt, let's go outside. It's still 40 degrees out,
Exactly,
but it
yeah.
feels amazing.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, I appreciate the little insight on the weather. I don't want to rub in my Florida living, but so I just want to start the show, of course, with how did you find yourself in the Web3? Like, what was it that brought you to
Mm.
crypto, that brought you to NFTs? Like, how did that journey start for you? Like, where did you first find out
The
about it?
infamous question. Crypto. So I think I had a pretty crystal clear rabbit hole. And that rabbit hole began with knowing money could make more money. That first thought, boom, that was revolutionary for me. I was like, whoa, hold on. People work for money, but you're telling me my money can work for me? So after that thought, I just got into a lot of markets. I did a lot of YouTube, a lot of reading. So I got into the stock market, and then I got into crypto, and then NFTs, and the rabbit hole trickled down from there. And then I was in Discord the whole time. Discord helped out for sure. Community and people helped me out. So I was in Discord because I'm already a gamer, you know, played Xbox. Discord was made for gamers. But as soon as I had that thought that money could make money, I joined a stock community Discord called Dumb Money. These three guys on YouTube like socially arbitrage trade stocks. But they have a small section of crypto, and I always thought the people that talked in the section in crypto were super smart. I'm like, what the fuck is a tether? I never knew what a tether was, and that shit just seemed so smart to me. I was interested. But I didn't really care to learn more until I learned about money and the US dollar and how that's basically already digital. You know, the US dollar is backed by essentially nothing. They put numbers digitally in a computer, and boom, that's how they have more money. I didn't know when you put money in a bank account, are legally, they can legally use that money, and just leverage it and borrow it. And it's just insane how money works. So once I knew that, I bought Bitcoin because, the US dollar goes from being backed by nothing, unlimited, to Bitcoin being limited at 21 million. So it just made sense. You know what I'm saying? And it just trickled down from there, really. Like, I can give you the whole story. Um, this was the timeline of December 2020. So during the middle of COVID, right before the crash, but January 2021, I believe, is where NFTs started coming out. That's when you started hearing a lot about NFTs. And so the rabbit hole just like was perfectly formed for me at a perfectly good time. Like, I learned about crypto, the crash happened. So I was like, I think this is when I'm supposed to buy. Like, and the YouTubers told me to buy low, sell high kind of thing. And just like went from there, man. So it just went from there. It's just the Discord community, the YouTube, having my brain, and wanting to learn more. So that's how I got into the game for sure.
It's funny. I have a very similar story. Like everything you say, I'm just like, that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Even down to the Discord, because literally I was a gamer. I streamed, I
Hmm.
played competitively. And when I got into crypto and NFTs, I literally left all the gaming communities I was in because I didn't game anymore.
Oh
And I
man.
joined all the crypto communities and my Discord just
Hmm.
transformed. So it's funny you say that because it's exactly
Yeah.
how my life, yeah.
It's why I'm in the beginning, I was confused why a lot more gamers were into crypto, and it's still kind of 50-50 area. Like, you meet a gamer and it's like 50% chance they're super into crypto, 50% chance they're like super skeptical. But I'm just appreciative I had Discord because I know people coming into crypto, learning those new platforms like Twitter and Discord probably is like a learning curve for them for sure.
I do find it easier to explain like NFTs to gamers though, in comparison
Mm.
to like other people, because of the fact that you can always be like,
Hmm.
it's like a skin in a game, and
Yeah.
it's like
Exactly.
you can explain the mechanics of an NFT to
Hmm.
someone that's a gamer more than you can just like the average
Exactly.
Joe. So I always appreciate that if I find out someone's a gamer, I'm like, oh, I can actually talk to you about crypto
Mhm.
and maybe teach you something without you asking me questions where I'm just like,
Exactly.
I don't even want to feel this.
That is very true. Yeah, crypto and NFTs do remind me of like the RuneScape days. You know what I'm saying? It's always because games have always had an economy in them, and crypto and NFTs just take it to a whole nother level and adds ownership to that economy.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that GTA 6 integrates it. I'm hoping.
Is
I,
that what people are thinking? Like, do
it's
we?
what I think. It just makes sense. Like
Mm,
you have this game that's been around for forever, and it's like the number one game. Everybody. I mean, I've
mhm.
been playing it for so long. Like you stop playing it
Yeah.
for years because it's just like that's still going on that game. I'll wait
Yeah.
for the new one. You get to that point where you're just
Yes,
like, I'll
it
wait for the new
is.
one. For me with GTA 5, it was like I'll wait for the new one. That was 7 years ago. Like
Yeah.
if I had known, I probably would have still kept playing
Oh,
it.
wow, yeah.
But
That is true.
I just when you look at a game like that and you look at way crypto's going, it's just hard not to imagine that somebody like Rockstar has got billions of dollars,
Mm,
can't figure a way to integrate crypto, and if they do it correctly, it would change the game. And I know we've seen
mm,
Solana in talks with like Visa, Mastercard, and even Xbox has made gestures about picking up cryptocurrency on the platform. That'd be huge. So imagine if a game provider like like Rockstar, like a
yeah.
developer, was to somehow integrate, even if it's their own token that's
Mhm.
backed on a chain. Like think about the eyes
Oh,
that would get
wow.
on. Just to think about. I think it would be awesome to see. I have my fingers crossed as a.
Wow, that's not even a thought I had, but now you got me thinking, now you got me hoping as well.
Could you
Because if
imagine like you could sell your badass car that you built and customized in the
yeah,
game for crypto, like tangible
yeah.
crypto? Like I sold this car for like like it wouldn't be a lot of money. Let's just say like 10 XRP, which is like $5. But still you can take that money and you know what I'm saying? Like just
Mhm.
imagine if that
Yeah.
mechanic was there where you could sell in-game things or buy in-game things with actual legit crypto. And then
Mhm.
people would like live their life, not that they already don't live their life in the game, but it's very
Yeah. It would
So
definitely be game changing because I wouldn't have to, like, use any of my money in my bank account, for example. I don't know, as someone in crypto and has been in crypto for a while, I have so much of it, like, I'm ready for the world to integrate crypto so I can start spending it, you know what I'm
yes,
saying? Because now it's just accumulating, which I'm fine with, but now I am ready for things to be spent. Like, I want that flow. I want that circle of flow to naturally happen eventually. So if games integrate crypto, I'm all in. I'm ready to spend some on games that I like playing. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. Now, do you find, and this is a more of a like a personal and real life question, do you find people that like you're friendly with in real life that doesn't know about crypto? Do you have a hard time like trying to explain to them the mechanics of blockchain technology? Or,
Yes.
like, do you see that barrier? Because I struggle and all the time. The biggest question that I get, they're like, well, when I can spend it, and it's funny because it reminded me when you just said this.
Mhm.
I can't wait to spend my money when I can go to the store and spend it. And I mean, you can technically, if you use like
Yeah.
different kinds of like things, like
Yeah.
you can technically use your crypto in a way. Like I know you Coinbase and crypto.com have done like credit cards where you can use them
Mhm.
as debit cards that are backed by crypto. So it's possible, but you get what I'm saying. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's like the bridge. Once people can spend it at the grocery store, I think that's when people will adapt to it more. Do you
For sure.
agree? Do you
Yeah,
agree with
I
that?
agree. It's like once people can use it without having to think, especially in this day and age. We don't really like thinking. We don't want to give thought to things. So even me getting paid in crypto, I don't directly send it to my Coinbase because that's just sketchy. So I do get it sent to like my Phantom wallet. Then I have to transfer it to Coinbase. And then I have to transfer that USDC to USD. And then it's
I know.
finally in my bank account
I
within
know.
1 to 5 business days.
I know.
So it's like that is why I don't see a lot of people using it or understanding it for sure. Once those steps like minimize, even just 2 or 3 steps, I think we can get more people into it because it can be as simple as me sending someone some crypto for them to try out, them understanding it, them being able to spend and buy some more, and then going from there. Because the way I learned crypto the easiest was just like utilizing it, buying it. Like I first bought Bitcoin, and then when I first bought an NFT with ETH, it was just like a whole experience. But yeah, I did buy my first NFT so I could learn. I'm like, let me see what process people are going through so I can fully understand the blockchain technology. And I did think I got rugged because I didn't know about the fees. I did not know about gas fees at the time. So it's just like simple stuff like that where the average day-to-day person that don't know about crypto right now would have issues. And there's also no customer support lines you can call. You know what I'm saying? Now that
Yep.
I mention it, there is no customer support lines either. So it's just not ready. And that's why when I did get into crypto, back in 2020, I did give myself about 10 years of conviction. So I'm holding my crypto for 10 years. So hopefully by 2030, I am expecting for us to finally get there, if not be there. But yeah, no, in real life, I kind of avoid it. I kind of avoid like when people say, "What do I do for work?" I'm like, "I'm a social media manager." You know, if someone wants to if someone wants to start up their own company in crypto, I will social media manage and community manage for them. Simple. And I don't really get questions off of that. Everyone knows what social media is. Everyone knows what a community and customers are. So, eh.
Yeah, I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I have a project on, Solana blockchain that's NFTs, and it's
Mm,
it's it's around, content creation, because Decoders is more about content creation, and everything else is just part of
mhm,
it. The sole purpose of Decoders is content creation and
right.
putting education out and talking to people and just,
Mhm.
experiencing life together. But it's hard to explain to people if they don't understand what blockchain is, and
It
like
is. That
it,
first sentence alone would have scared me, I'm not gonna lie. You were like, "Oh, I have a project on the Solana blockchain with NFTs." I would have been like like, no clue.
yeah, I don't speak French. It's like,
Yeah, and I mean, I love working for Sharky too because it's taught me to, say things very simple. Sharky is a very simple company, and it's taught me to, like, say things in very simple terms, and I really appreciate that too because I can, like, recognize when I say big words, and then you try to minimize those words for people to understand, and then you make it easier for them to understand, which makes it less intimidating to use and try out, for example. So I'm just hoping crypto gets there. We do have like a massive educational like learning curve to get through with people, but I'm definitely bullish, and I still have that now 6-year timeline. So 2030 for me, that's like my year.
Nice. It's good to set goals. And that you mentioned that your first NFT was on ETH. So I
Mm,
kind of want to touch on that just a little bit. And then you just mentioned something else I want to go into.
okay.
But with ETH, so you didn't know about gas. But I feel like for
Mm,
people like me, I was an ETH miner. And that's how I got into crypto. I was mining ETH. So I was like, all right. And I started looking into it more. I
mhm.
was just looking at it from a business perspective. How can I earn money with stuff, knowledge I have? I can build computers. I can build mining rigs. I can
Nice.
make
Okay.
money. So
Yeah.
that's how I kind of got into
Made
crypto.
sense.
And then I didn't invest into it until the same time you did, right around COVID break. I
Mhm.
sold all my stocks and bought in the crypto full
Okay,
speed.
nice.
And I got in right at COVID drop. I bought in on that buyback because I felt like that was my opportunity when I saw the
Mhm.
pullback in the market because I was watching it for a few months. But you, as a person who gets into NFTs, see me, I personally never bought an NFT on ETH.
Mm,
I went to Solana first. So I'm
okay.
just curious, you as a person who went to ETH, did you find it like so like comforting when you finally made it to Solana and you were just like, wait, I just transferred that NFT and I just minted this and it cost me legit what the mint
Oh,
price was. Like,
man.
how was that experience for somebody like when you were first in the NFTs? You went from like, oh my God, I just paid $200 extra for an NFT. What
It's like
happened?
It's like going from Bing to Google, it's something like that, and that's not even a good example. It's like going from a Game Boy to a Switch, a Nintendo Switch, for example. It's like much faster, much more efficient. 2 people can now play on the same device, something like
Yeah,
that, but
yeah, for
but
sure.
it was just like it just made sense. A blockchain like Solana just makes sense because it's much more affordable. And when we're talking about blockchain and crypto, we're talking about a global economy at this point. So when we talk about ETH and ETH gas, people in some third world countries won't be able to afford ETH gas. We're asking them to pay like 5+ meals just for one transaction. So when you take a blockchain like Solana, where it's fractions of a penny for transactions, that is friendly for everyone around the world. So it just makes sense. And for me, like I said in the beginning, I come from a community where they socially arbitrage. So I follow the money, I follow what makes sense, I follow the developers. So I did see a lot of developers and money going into Solana because of those aspects, the speed, the affordability, and things like that. So, that's why I never went back. Honestly, as soon as I went to Solana, my MetaMask started collecting dust. It's still
Yep.
collecting dust.
Yep.
I'll visit it every now and then, and that's because I think I will try to explore other blockchains that might be layer twos. But other than that, Solana. I like Solana and other blockchains like Solana. Maybe like Near Protocol I dabbled with, Tezos I've dabbled with, and blockchains like those. So yeah, it was game changer, life changer. Never went back.
Yeah, I will say for the first time since I've been on Solana, I've never dabbled with any other, of course, Matic. We did Matic because, Gamble's minted on Matic and,
Hmm.
I'm supporting and, Matic was cool. Never really got into ETH NFTs. We are moving Gambles over to ETH. So of course
Okay.
I'm gonna be okay with it because, that's where my assets will be. But
Hmm.
luckily for me, I don't plan on selling them or moving them too much. I'm just gonna stake them and earn stuff with them. So be like a one-time thing for me. But I just recently started looking into SEI, and I feel like that it has
Mm.
really, really decent potential only because it was built on Cosmos. And I
Mm.
really dig Cosmos blockchain and like their layer
Yeah.
and their development program that they have. And I'm pretty sure Sai was one of the chains that was built off of their protocol. Like they have a protocol to build like blockchains and layer ones out of. And so I would start looking at the Sai, and I've been dabbling with some free mints, getting
Hmm.
rugged for like 20 Sai, which is only like it's only like $10, $15. But it reminds me of like Solana before
Hmm.
Solana had the hype of
Mm.
$250 Solana, like Solana summer before we hit 250.
Yeah.
was kind of like that when I first got into NFTs. When Famous Fox and DAA first
Mhm.
minted, like back then, it was still expensive for Solana, but it was just it just seems new. Never messed with Aptos or Soy or whatever that other
I was about
SUI.
to bring those 2 up too, cause like, SEI, I say say, I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know how to
know
pronounce
what,
it.
um,
Say, I don't know.
who
SEI.
yeah, say summer, I don't know.
I don't
But,
know.
I was gonna bring up Aptos and Sui as well, cause it kinda reminds me of that, like, it's one of those things where, especially if you're just on Solana and you're kind of a Solana maxi and you start seeing things pop up on your timeline from the Solana community, that is what I'm seeing from SEI, similar to Aptos and Sui. And I do think there will be some hits, I do think there will be some misses, especially when I see it just coming from the Solana community. That's what I find interesting. And that's what I want to bring up, kind of. It's like it's very easy for us to create our own echo chambers and us to be in our own small world, especially on Twitter. Like, I know everyone that's on Solana, so I'm going to see something that everyone's saying, but I forget this is just the Solana community. So I'd be bullish on those blockchains if I also know other communities are into them too. Like, do you see ETH people getting into SEI?
I'm not too. I'm not. I'm busy enough that I'm not that active, but
Mhm.
I'm like kind of poking around.
Yeah.
So I'll go into the communities just for the whitelist because they make you join the communities, and I'll dabble around. I'll check them like daily, just hop in,
Mhm.
see what but it's no different. It's no different. Like pre-min, everybody's when. After min, everybody's like rug, and everybody sells for a loss. So I haven't seen a difference yet, but I will say my minting experience on Sai was wonderful. It was super
Okay,
fast. Reminds me of Solana.
that's
And
good.
like I said, the only reason I've looked at Sai is because of the fact it was built on Cosmos.
Yeah,
Aptos and Sui, I don't. They were just built.
yeah.
I
I
don't think
think
they
those
were
are
on Cosmos. So
yeah,
like to me, it just didn't make sense. So I'm not at
okay.
all promoting it. It's just something I've had
Yeah,
on my
no,
on my
I
radar.
yeah, I appreciate the insight. It's something I've been wanting to research as well, because, like I said, if I look to arbitrage and trade things off of socially arbitraging them, Say is definitely one of those. Like, if I want to follow the money and follow devs, I'm pretty sure that's a blockchain I should be following for sure. It's been trending for the past 2 weeks. It's been going up. Like, a lot of talk has been going around this blockchain for sure. So I'll check it out. I'm always about my roots and I love reading the white paper first. I like reading the
Yeah.
white paper, then I like transacting on the blockchain, and then it kind of all comes together for me.
Yeah, it's very. It reminds me of my early days of Solana when I got on we had Solana art, we
Mhm.
had Alpha art, whatever those early ones were. I can't
Yeah,
remember, but
Digital
they
Eyes,
were so hard to
Sonar.
navigate. And like I remember when Magic Eden first came out, I didn't like it because I was just like it didn't make sense to me because
Yeah.
everything else was so hard. And I
Mhm.
was just like, I don't even want to learn a new platform. Like I'm just gonna like, stay on Alpha
Yeah.
Art and Soul Art and just chill over here. And I was using my Slope wallet, the good old days. But I just want to bring back now. You mentioned earlier you work with the Sharky team, so this is where I'm interested because I really want to know what you're doing in Web3 now.
Yeah.
Um, so you work with Sharky, you're part of their core team. You've been with them for a while. I mean, ever since I've known Sharky, since I minute Sharky back in the day. It's
Nice.
been over a year now. It has to be, right? It's been
Over a year,
yeah, it's been a
yeah.
while. It feels like it's been a while. I feel like you guys have been around a while, but I remember I minute with Forge through Blocksmiths and all that stuff back in the day.
Mhm.
And Vince actually bought me a mint. He sent me the Forge and didn't ask for the money and told me to keep it.
He's infamous for doing that.
I know. So, but I definitely made some profits. I did sell my sharks. I
Nice.
will admit,
Okay,
sold them
that's
for
okay,
profit.
as long as you made money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So when you came across Sharky, did you join them like pre-mint? Did you join them after being part of the community? Like how did that happen? Like how did you get involved with Sharky?
Ooh, good question. I've gotten involved with them pre-mint. So Sharky was incepted in May, December of 2021. So it has been a while. Time is flying. I'm getting scared how time is flying in crypto. December of 2021. I joined March of 2022. So about 4 months after it was made. Was not in the community before that, and we minted the Sharks collection October of 2022. But that it's all about connections, like I was talking about. That same Discord I talked about in the way beginning, I made my essential connection. So in that same Discord is someone called Leon Gabon. He's an investor of Sharky. He saw I was looking for a job in Web3 since I lost my previous one. He connected me to Sharky. So it's as simple as that. Connections. Just make sure you have connections, make sure you're networking with people, and things like that kind of happen. So that's how I got into Sharky. I knew their investor. He connected me with them because they needed a community manager at the time, which I'm glad they hired me. I'm very grateful for that. And they definitely did need a community manager because when I joined, it was about 200 active users on the protocol. And then we opened it up to public, and then like the NFT launch happened, and so I've witnessed Sharky go from 200 users to now over 30,000, probably 35,000. So it's been a wild ride, but yeah, that's how I got into it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, Sharky's a great project when you think about it. I remember like, people talked about you can lend out your NFT or you can borrow on it, and like everybody, that was like crazy talk, and
Oh
like
yeah.
it wasn't possible. Like, how's that work? Like, you know what I mean? And then it started happening, and then I think like Fract and Sharky and all them, you guys start coming onto the scene, and
Mhm.
it became something, and then you guys definitely cornered the market, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, now it's definitely a huge thing. I think y'all was first. Y'all is no longer a thing.
Thankfully, they kind of wrecked NFTs. We won't get into
They
that.
did, like, oh, I was about to as well. Oh, man, I got triggered there for a second. I'm
I
like, now
know.
that you think about it, they did.
They were everybody blamed Frank and Magic Eden for the no royalties, but it was
No,
y'all.
it was it was y'all, yeah.
it was y'all that wrecked it, guys.
Oh my
If you were
god.
if you're not aware, just trust me. The
Yeah,
sources
just
trust
trust
me,
us,
bro.
bro. Yeah, just trust us, bro. But I do think NFT fi, that's what we call it. So NFT fi, NFT finance. I do think that's huge on Solana, and in particular to Solana. And I found it interesting because like a few months working into Sharky, I'm like, well, is this happening on ETH? Like, is this available on ETH? But the way Sharky is, we were kind of innovative because Sharky was the first protocol to be escrowless, actually, the very first protocol on any blockchain to be escrowless, which meant when you borrowed Solana, you're borrowing against your NFT as collateral, right? And that NFT, instead of being removed out of your wallet, which is what we were all used to, like if you use your NFT, that NFT would be removed from your wallet. You would lose access to the Discord, yada, yada, yada. So Sharky was a bit innovative with it. When you borrowed against your NFT, it stayed safely in your wallet, frozen. So you can't borrow against it again. You can't sell it. It's just frozen by smart contract. Only after you pay the loan back, or if the loan expires, you get your NFT unfrozen, or the lender gets your NFT. And I found that very innovative, especially because I still don't think that's a thing on ETH. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Please do your own research. But I do know the first year of me working with Sharky, that was not possible on a blockchain like Ethereum. So it's why I'm kind of very appreciative that NFT fi is a thing and I'm working for it, because NFTs are still new. Let's be honest, like
Yeah.
NFTs have not even been around for 5 years yet. So adding on tools to be able to utilize your NFTs are freaking huge. So it's just insane the kind of things that I've begun to learn. Before working with Sharky, I had no clue how loans work. I've never made a loan, taken out a loan, didn't know what collateral was or anything. So it's taught me some things as well. And I do think that's going to be the future of crypto. People are going to be taught some things financially with DeFi rather than traditional finance. And that's going to be the way to go for some people for sure.
No, I agree with you completely with that, with the direction that that things can go. I mean, none of us know where it's going to head, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's all unpredictable right now, and we're just we're just gambling.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly. No,
we're
no. Oh my gosh. Can I talk about how many people are now starting to sports gamble. I don't know if you're witnessing that, but a lot of my friends are asking me or like sending referral codes to sports gamble. This is not even talking about crypto. And I'm like, no, I don't want to sports gamble. I am in crypto. I gamble every day.
Hey,
I'm gambling every day.
remember that time with Gambles when you signed up and you got that affiliate code? Well,
Yes.
just tell them, "Here's an affiliate code. You can gamble with crypto on
Yeah.
sports bets here,"
I
and
just
then
send them
and
right
then
back.
just hope they don't do well at it. Hopefully, they're not good friends of yours, and then you get the affiliate sign up, and you make money off of them losing money.
Hey,
It's a win-win.
that's a win-win. Yeah, just we'll keep sending referral codes back and forth or
You're like,
something.
"Wait, oh, yeah, yeah, here, click on this. Go sign up."
Yeah.
No, we don't promote gambling here on Decoders, but we are in affiliates with Gambles as well because they're homies with the Jelly team and stuff.
Mhm.
But cool stuff. I just want to stop and say hello to everybody. I did ignore the chat. MQ, Corey, F. I love seeing you guys here. Diehards, Dropbox. I always call you Dropbox, even though it's Box Drop. That's just my thing. One of the founders of a community. Man is a gem. MQ, Dropbox, and let's see, we got Hama up in this site. What's up?
GM,
Just
Hanma.
want to say what's up to everybody and everybody else that's in here listening or might be watching us on replay. Love the support. Appreciate you guys so much. And with that, so now you're working with Sharky. It was that your first job in NFTs and in crypto and in Web3? Was it Sharky, or were you like doing other things like here and there, kind of getting your feet wet?
Nah, it wasn't the first. It was probably like the second official one, but I did things in between. The first was with the metaverse, and that was in October of 2021. I worked with the metaverse until probably January of 2022. And metaverses were the meta back then, and
Yep.
this was a pretty big one, if not the largest. But looking back at it, the weird thing about metaverses back then, nothing was a thing. Metaverses weren't a thing. It was just the talk. It was just the talk that was exciting. Um, but no, I was working with NeoNexus. If anybody OG knows that, golden tickets were a thing. They did the first time limited mint on Solana, and we sold like over 10,000 golden tickets for one Solana, for example. So NeoNexus did some pretty innovative things themselves, but it didn't work out because the founder of NeoNexus, I think the burn rate was just too high. One Monday morning, thought it was a meeting. We all got fired because they had no money. And that happens a lot in crypto. I'm very grateful that has not happened again to me. And I believe it has not happened again because after that, it was a learning experience. And that's exactly why I started working with Sharky versus another NFT project.
Yes.
Sharky has a product backed by it, and it can work with any and every NFT collection versus me working for one NFT collection and risking losing my job. So for anyone out there trying to get a career in Web3, just like take that as note. If you want to work for an NFT collection, that is fine. People will need to work for those always, but I would like maybe work for multiple. You know what I'm saying? Maybe put your eggs in multiple baskets or something like that if you can, because that was a huge learning experience for me. And ever since, I have not worked for another NFT collection other than Discord moderating for free.
Have you ever been? It's funny you bring up mods because it's just I've had a lot of experience. I've worked with a lot of projects
Mhm.
between modding, advising, and all that stuff in my short career that feels like it's been 10 years. I have the pleasure to work with a lot of different projects, but in the early days, I'll never forget it. Have you ever been part of a project where you were the mod and the devs just stopped showing up and the team stopped showing up and then like you're just left there as the mod, like it's your project now and you're like, wait,
Oh
where's
my
everybody at? And all the
god.
holders are like, hey, wait, where's everybody at? And you're just like,
Luckily not. Luckily not. No, but almost. Like I've almost been in that. Like for example, I helped, this is an OG project, Soul Socks. Soul Socks, it was when limited mints were a thing, so there was 500 Soul Socks on Solana. But I was a big moderator for them and helped them launch actually, just like help them secure the Discord during launch. But it was almost that way because Soul Socks, they launched, went up to like 50, 60 Soul, was good for months. But I think the founding team just got like tired, didn't know where the direction was going to go. So slowly but surely, I saw them like stopped coming into the Discord, and I had to ask. I was like, "What's going on?" Like, I had to leave the Discord before
Yep.
any of that happened.
I have
But
left a few
yeah.
discords as a mod, just like,
Oh,
listen, guys, and
man.
I put a statement out like, listen, guys, I have no idea what's going on. Just so you know,
Yeah.
I'm leaving and blah blah blah. And just to put a disclaimer out there, people always think that mods are core team members or they're
Mm,
like part of the team. They know everything. Mods are hired to protect the community. They're hired
mhm.
to push people towards information. They're there to answer questions. They're there to guide them to links. They're there to make sure that people are not out of
Yeah.
line, being disrespectful. They're not in the meetings. They're not behind the
They don't
scenes.
know
Yeah,
anything. How
some projects, don't get me wrong, some projects do include their mods a lot more, but a
Mhm.
basic mod in a Discord, is not there to be treated like shit too, because I get
Yeah.
it all the time. Like, I mod in gambles. I'm not part of the core team. I
Mm.
just mod the server and people will be like, oh, well, you're a mod. What the hell's that doing? I'm a holder. I
Yeah.
am a holder who just has responsibility that I agreed to make sure that you guys are all
Mhm.
safe from links and people like calling you names out of the book and being disrespectful. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here to make
Yeah.
sure people are humans.
It's
Uh,
why, I like the idea of community mods, like hiring people from the community to be mods and not really, like, officially hiring them, but, like,
yeah.
promoting them as a mod and maybe giving them some incentives.
Yeah.
That's what we do with Sharky. So we have some community mods called sushi chefs, and if we get pre-sales or whitelists, they'll get it first before the community does, for
Yeah, that's
example.
that's dope. And they're
So I
there
like
anyway,
that.
they're
Yeah,
hanging out anyway, so now you're rewarding
exactly.
them. And they're
Um Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, that's the thing though, like, when you see people that are active in the community, what they're already there. They're already
Mhm.
doing the job. They're already the
Exactly. So
mods,
you might as
so
well just acknowledge them,
yeah.
that's my point.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good stuff. That's good stuff.
you
It
reminded me of, some trauma, though, with NeoNexus. So when NeoNexus rugged, I was in the Discord 24/7 as a community manager, not a moderator. So when they rugged, when rugs happen, especially in the bull market back in the day, rugs happen, the people got death threats, and I was one of those people. So I did experience, like, getting the heat and the kickback from a project rugging because my name was so intertwined with them. For example, when people saw NeoNexus, they saw Neppah. When you join the Discord, I'm most likely there greeting you. One, I was addicted to work and didn't know how to get off my phone on Discord back then. And two, I was just wanted to make sure the community is welcomed. But you just reminded me of that, like, as you were talking about your modding experience, like, I've experienced that times, like, 2 or 3. Because when they pulled the plug, man, I had people in my DMs like, "I saw you with the founder, I know where you live, yada, yada." It's like, I mean, guys, I am doxxed, like, I know I'm doxxed, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter, but I didn't rug, and I'm
yeah.
so glad people understand that now, like, if
Mods
a
are
prod
just holders. They're just trusted holders.
I mean, exactly, and I'm just so glad people now know I didn't if I did, you guys wouldn't see me right now. Like, if
Yeah,
Nexus rugged and I wanted to rug too, I'd be gone. I'd be
yeah.
doing 9 to 5 or, like, bagging some groceries at Kroger down the street for 17 an hour or something. Like, I don't know, but that was insane. I just had to speak about that because you reminded me of the situation.
Yeah, Web3 jobs and like the history of people that have the experience, that is that's a topic all on its own because
Oh,
man, the stories that all of us that have worked in Web3 for many years in different projects and have seen, it's incredible. But you know what? That's what makes us good. That's why Sharky has such a great community and has good direction because they have someone like you with the experience that's there that's helping with the developments and the community management side that you helped
mhm.
start, because you started as a community manager and then you're in core team now, so it's a little different. You're not so much,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
still
and to
managing
be
the
honest
community, but
Yeah, and to be honest, I still don't really know what core team member means. I started saying core team because I didn't really wanna say all of the titles,
core
because
team
now
means your opinion matters.
okay, yeah,
And
my opinion matters and I can make decisions. Okay, I
yeah,
would say that, yeah. I
yeah,
started saying that because I was just like, "Yeah, I don't know, I'm just with Sharky." It's like one of those startups where you do what you gotta do whenever you gotta do it, so
yeah. core
Yeah.
team are the people that, like, if we're gonna have a meeting, that your vote is going to be included,
Mm.
or your perspective is going to be needed, or they're not going to make a decision without bringing it to those people with that title. At least for me, and working in projects, anybody that considers themselves as core team, you could
Hmm.
be part of the team. It's different than core team. Core team means, you're in, you guys are the founders, the people, well, not so much the founders, but you get what I'm saying, the people that are
Yeah.
making the decisions, the direction, and the ones that are making the overall decisions. Of course, you're listening to the
Mhm.
communities, you're listening to advisors, you listen to everybody else, but at the end of the day, it's the decision that the core team makes is where things head for
Yeah.
us. But
Huh.
um but with that said, so have you ever thought about doing your own project? Have you ever thought about branching off and working with other projects that maybe kind of like kind of fancy you a little better? 'Cause I'm not saying Sharky doesn't fancy you, but maybe investments and loaning and all that, it's not your thing. Maybe you
Mm,
you have a passion for, like when Vince, when he bridged off and wanted to do decoders, his
mhm,
passion was to do content creation.
mhm.
So do you have a passion that maybe you could see yourself like maybe creating a project or being a part of down the road?
Um, right now, my passion is, like, exactly what we're doing right now, like, I really love kind of, like, interviews, podcasting, hosting spaces, just talking. I love fucking talking for some reason, it's annoying for me. It's annoying for me because like, 10 years ago, I had social anxiety, so it's like a complete 180. It's whatever, but no, and it's a good question, first and foremost. No, I would never start my own project or collection or anything. However, I do have plans to have my own, like, company eventually, yes. I don't know
Nice.
what that'll be centered around. I don't have any of the details. I just know I'm in, like, my learning stage, and it's why I also like my career. Because in the career that I have in Web3, I'm able to work closely with other founders. And so I can see how other founders think. I can see how other founders move and build. So whenever I'm in that position, I can then hopefully know how I want to move and build. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. However, on the side, eventually I do want to have like my own spaces, for example, maybe have my own audience. A lot of people already hear my voice, and whenever they hear it, they think of Sharky. So I'm like, well, hell, I might as well create something where they hear my voice and they know it's me, minus Sharky. And that is something that crypto kind of took me away from of. It took me a part of, I must admit. Before crypto, I was focused on my own YouTube. I was focused on my own podcast. I still have them. I just haven't uploaded in years since I got into crypto. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where time management and crypto just took over. But yes, I would like to get back to those things and like to get back to building my own stuff too. Essentially, I love my job, love career, but I don't want to work for someone else my entire life. I am working for Sharky. Like, this isn't my company. And eventually, I do want it to be my company and have my own employees, for example. So that, I think, answers your question plus more.
I will say I have been in a few Sharky spaces, and I will say you do host great spaces. You're very good at moving conversation. You're very good at interviewing. So it definitely is something that I can see you definitely doing
Thank
on
you.
your own. So I would encourage you maybe over the next year to maybe branch out a little and start trying to do that. And if you ever need like ideas or somebody to talk to, or like kind of throw things at, DeCod3rs is always here for you.
I
To like
appreciate that.
kind of set up some stuff, or maybe even like branch off and help you launch like maybe your own like spaces or something like that, and kind of help you
Hmm.
out. But like I said, I've been in your spaces. You handle yourself very well in spaces, and I'm not that I'm a critic, but I've been in enough spaces to know like when I'm in a space, like I've been invited to spaces under many projects to talk,
Yeah.
and you get in spaces, right away. And I know you agree with this. Within the first 5 minutes if the host is good,
Yes,
bad, and how that next hour or two is going to go.
you do. Yes, you do. Absolutely.
So I will say, when I enter a Sharky space, I am chill. I know it's going to be a great time. I know that the flow is going to be nice.
Mhm.
Things aren't going to get out of hand, and it's not going to get stale and all that stuff. So that,
Yeah,
that
I'd love to. I'll probably dive deeper into that in like one of my own podcasts, but I'd love to get more into like just my experience as a whole. I do think I've learned by hosting spaces since 2021, like since the beginning of my career, actually, because with Neo Nexus, I hosted a space for them once a week, doing about the same thing I'm doing now. But they took it to a next level, and I enjoyed what they did. We hosted spaces, recorded them, and then also uploaded them onto Spotify. Kind of like similar to what Decoders is doing on YouTube, but Spotify. Wow, yeah, Dakota should start doing something like that. Do you guys upload on Spotify at all?
I think we've talked about it, like maybe doing like the
Mhm,
podcast and like doing it up there, and that's kind of like why we'd like to change the content. Like, I'll do my own
mhm.
little series. We try to keep the content fresh. We don't just want to be the same
Okay.
thing all the time. So it's a possibility, like maybe we upload the deep dives to Spotify or something
Yeah.
like that series and like that idea, and see if it gets traction, or just Vince's like main interviews with
Mhm.
projects, stuff like that. So
Okay.
but it's a possibility. It's not definitely anything that we haven't thought about. It's just that we're really geared at the NFT side of things right now, because we're
Okay.
we're deving. Well, not me necessarily, but we have Vince, we have Risha, we have Ramo, who's in the chat. What's up, Ramo? And we have Mintel, who are all of our devs, and they're all working on different things, and have their strengths. As prior to the launch, of course, we were
Mhm.
just Vince only. But after the launch, luckily we were able to onboard some of the people in the community that just know what
Good.
they're doing, and were willing to step up to help the coders because they love
Mhm.
our vision and wanted to be a part of it. So gladly take people in. That's what the coders is about. We're just trying to expand communities and grow, and just educate, and just do well for other people, like
For
bring
sure.
good into this space. There's so much toxic out there. So
Man,
um
yeah, you guys keep doing what you're doing for sure. I know I was saying this earlier before the show, but I love shows like this and what you guys are doing because I can take one of my friends who may not know what crypto and NFTs are and may not know like how I feel about them, and then sit back and watch like this show later on with them. And they'll finally understand like how I feel, what I do for work, and things like that. They can just listen to us talk and maybe something will click. But I do think the kind of content you guys are creating, even if you're not seeing what you guys want to see now, I think in the future, looking back on it, it'll be infamous. Like it'll be OG. Like this is what I would want to look back at once I reach that 2030, and if we're there, this is the YouTube I'm gonna look back at and be like, this is the way up. Like this is
yeah,
what we were experiencing. So I really hope you guys continue because yeah, I fucking love the content you guys are creating, and you're
we
going around the ecosystem and getting a lot of insight. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we appreciate that. And then we've had a 2023 was a great year for decoders. I mean,
Hmm.
regardless of what people see us as, us personally, as the people behind the scenes that have built it, and seeing the stats, and seeing the all the different things that we have, all the metrics that you can see from a YouTube channel standpoint alone, is
Mm.
incredible in 1 year's time. Because we started, our first show was, I think, the end of December 2022 was episode 1. So we've been doing this a little over a year, and the growth has
Okay.
been phenomenal. And of course, we used the mint, and we hyped up our subs and stuff using whitelists and stuff like that. So of course, a little bit of it was inflated, but we still,
Hmm.
the metrics themselves don't lie. Like the watch hours, and the KPI, and what's the other metric?
Yeah.
The money per minute. I forget what that actual metric's called, but
Hmm.
yeah, it looks amazing. Loves it. He loves showing it off in the AMAs. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see so many more directions. Like you guys have so much more growth you can grow into too. Like so many areas you can grow into as well, which is the pretty interesting part because when I can look at a company and like what they're doing and enjoy what they're doing and be here with you, but also see you do so much more, that's how you know you can go places versus like a company where you see what they're doing, you like what they're doing, but you don't really know like where else they could go. For example, Instagram Reels. I can see you guys cutting this content
yep,
short, going on Instagram, starting
yep,
there. And this is all stuff that I like doing too before crypto. Like when I posted on YouTube, I cut some of those YouTube videos short, posted it on Instagram, made it on my Snapchat. Like I view social media as a tool versus like something where you spend all your time and energy on just scrolling. And so, yeah, something like Decoders just gets me very passionate about social media because there's so much to do with it, for
yes,
sure.
yes. I mean, we might expand. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Neppah show on the coders where you come on, and
Oh,
maybe you do a little thing, and you
for
know
real.
once in a while. Maybe we have the whatever you want to call it. I mean, just ideas. I mean, we're open to it because that's what the coders
Mhm.
is about. It's about content creation overall. It's about expanding and pushing the space to be different, and of course educate and grow as a channel too, as a YouTube channel. Who knows, once we spike the algorithm, it only takes, I don't think people realize that in like content creation, it only takes one video, it only takes one viral video that could change everything. And if you guys are riding along with us and we just happen to hit, it's just gonna get insane. So who knows, you never know what the future holds. Just stay positive and keep doing what you do, and
Man, yeah.
stay at it. Everybody that's been successful, the reason they've gotten there is because they showed up every day and they didn't stop. They didn't just get there because they woke up and it just happened. You know what I mean? Maybe some people, but 95% of people in the world that have made it and have been successful have worked their butts off to get there, and
Mhm.
they showed up every day,
Mhm.
and they did it. And that's content creation. You got to show up, you got to be active, and you got to just keep putting content out there.
For sure.
Um, but you kind of talked on where I want to go next, about your future. Like
Mm.
you want to work for yourself and stuff, but with Web3 specific, where do you see your future? Like, do you see it staying with Sharky, working on a project like this? I know I asked you if you want to do your own project, but like, where do you see yourself with crypto? Do you see like you changing everything and being full-time Web3? I don't know if you have a real job. Never asked you. Don't really want you to have to get
Um,
personal, but like, do you see just Web3 being all you're gonna do like in the future?
well, to clarify, one, Sharky isn't all I do. I didn't mention SDX. I did start working with SDX Market about a month or two ago.
Nice.
They're bringing options back to Solana. So actually, people can buy and sell options on Solana with Solana, which is crazy. But I do work with them. Just haven't spoke about them too much because I'm still getting my pitch down, and I don't know much about options, not as much as I could. I've dabbled with them on Robinhood with stocks, but now we're talking about crypto, and now we're talking about European options, which are apparently different than options in America. And I just didn't know that stuff. So just wanted to clarify, I do work with another team, SDX_markets on X. You guys can find it in my bio. And then I do work full time in Web3, actually. I've worked full time in Web3 since 2021. And
Awesome.
that's why I'm so grateful and appreciative. It's like I work from home. I do this shit 24/7. Whenever I'm on FaceTime with my friends, I'm usually also on my laptop and they just see me working 24/7. But I also really like it because there's time and freedom. Like I was able to go to brunch with my mom yesterday, for example. So I still have some balance, and it took me 2 years to get that balance. Trust me, you start working in crypto, it's all you want to do until you finally realize you need you time. So yeah, I work with another team. I am full time in Web3. Do I see this all I do? I do see this career for myself for a while, especially because I'm young. 23 years old to be exact. I'll be 24 this year. So I see me doing this at least for another, I don't see why, 5, 10 more years. Really until I finally know what I want to do for myself with myself. While I'm doing this, I can also focus on building my assets as well and building up my savings to have that pile of what I need for what I want to create. So that's kind of my goal. It's like I'm gonna do this shit until otherwise. I'm kind of going with the flow. I got fun fact, Neppah is my name. That's what I go by. You read it backwards, it's Let It Happen. I got Let It Happen tattooed on my neck
Wow.
at a Solana Miami hacker house. So I have a kind of brand going on too. I'm just letting shit go, letting shit flow, letting shit happen, being Neppah. You know what I'm saying?
I never realized that until you said
Let
it,
it
that
happen.
it's let it happen, and that's awesome. See, but that's what's important too in this space. And branding is so important too. If you
Mhm.
can brand yourself, that will just make it for you, because branding yourself is how people become the influencers. And
Yeah.
there's a difference between an influencer and a shitfluencer. And we kind of talked about in the Jelly Show the other day, where like we just hired 3 brand ambassadors, and they're actual influencers, people that do well for the space, people that are
Mhm.
actually pushing positivity and promoting good things out there, not just packing their bags and
Mhm.
and front running what they're promoting.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So there's a big difference, but it takes that branding of yourself, to be able to get into that position to be that type of person,
Yeah.
if that's where you want to go, as a content creator. And one of the people that we hired was Soul Jakey for Jelly, and everybody knows Soul Jakey. And he's got his own image, he's got his own branding, and everybody loves him. You either love him or hate him, just like anybody else. But I mean, most people love Soul
Yeah,
Jakey.
I've
I
yet
mean,
to find someone who hates him.
because he's positive. He's always positive. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I want to ask you. Like, how do you keep your composure in the space? Like, because every time I've talked to you, every time I've seen you in space or talked to you in a chat, you're always positive, you're always happy go lucky, you're loving life. That's the vibe you give. And that's one of the reasons why, like, when I do these shows, you're the type of person I want to have on the show, because I want to know, and I want people to know about you because you're
Yeah,
positive, because that's what people miss in this space.
I appreciate
You
that.
might fly under the radar, but
Yeah.
they don't realize, here's Neppah, who's an extremely positive person, who's extremely always helpful and always, out there, doing well for others and just looking out for the best interest of everybody, not just
Mhm.
yourself. Um, so
I
how,
really appreciate that. I think how I, like, remain how I keep my composure and positivity is really, like, the first thing that comes to mind when you ask that is I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I like to do, first of all. I'm getting paid for doing something I chose to do, and it just fell into my lap. With 9 to 5s, we sometimes go there because we have to do it or we need
Mhm.
to do it, not because we want to, not because we choose to, it's because we're trying to live. And so when I chose to do this and then, money follows and value follows, that makes me happy. Like that is a positive thing for me. I wake up, I get to talk to people that I like, I get to be with a company and work with people that I enjoy, and I'm learning and I'm making money. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know, it's just a win-win.
it's
So
like
I
hanging
think
out with your friends, making money.
exactly. Like the first thing is just like I found like my niche. I found what I like. I'm doing it and getting paid for it. And anyone can do that in my opinion. You just have to put yourself in that position. Like find what you love doing, find a skill that you're really good at, go ham at that skill, network around that skill, and then maybe you'll be in this position. Also, it's just like life experiences, if I'm being real with you. Being so young, I've already seen the lowest of my low. I can tell you that. I've already seen my lowest of my low. And so at some point where you go so far down, you can only look up. And
Mhm.
that's where my spirituality came from. And I think that's like what people call awakening. I did
Yep.
have that like massive awakening because I wouldn't be here if I didn't awaken, to be simple.
It,
So yeah, life just kicked me in the ass so much. It's like, damn, I'm either gonna fall here or I can only go up. And so after that, it's like only been up. I like being positive. I now know what my mind can do for me. I now know what my body can do for me. And so I just work with it.
That's super important what you just said, because I usually ask people that I find in this space and in life, people that are extremely positive and are happy go lucky have dealt with some traumatic stuff in their life. And
For
that's
real.
what got them there, because they woke up and they realized how bad it was and they decided, well, I'm going to change this.
Mhm.
And you realize how important life is when you go through those things and you see how little the little stuff is, and
Yeah.
how amazing just waking up is
Yeah,
compared to worrying about a bill or worrying about a boyfriend, girlfriend, worrying
exactly.
about that kind of stuff. Like the perspective changes,
Yeah, or what
and
other people think,
yeah,
what I'm saying? A
exactly.
lot of people get in the loophole, especially with our line of work and what we do, get in the loophole of posting on Twitter and they get the validation from how many likes and retweets they get. For example, that is minor things to me that doesn't matter because I get that validation from myself now. I now know I have
Awesome.
myself. I don't need likes or retweets. However, I still like putting out stuff because I like providing value. That's like my intention, whole intention of my being here. I like providing value and giving perspective. So even my tweets recently have been positive on the positive side. It's like, there would not be any hate without love. There wouldn't be love without hate. So we just need to practice letting things be. If there's haters, let them hate while we focus on love because it needs to be, both need to be here for us to be here. So shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, the
I'm
yin,
going
the
over it.
yang, the positive,
Yeah.
the negative, the
I
pros,
can
the
get all
cons.
monk on you right
No,
now and yeah,
it's
like
all
do
right.
my meditation, but
Listen,
I'm truly into that stuff though. I'm into mushrooms. We can get in that conversation. There's
yeah,
so much stuff.
microdosing is proven. It is
It
proven.
is.
It is
Yes.
proven to redevelop your brain and to actually awaken people to the actual good things in life.
Yeah.
Because
It's been
we're
proven since the 20th century. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, listen, we could definitely have a show about that
You know what
because
I'm like, we can dive deep for
listen,
real.
like I'm a little older than you. I'm in my 40s, but I lived a very very informative life. I've learned a
Mhm,
lot and I've paid attention. I didn't just, maybe in my early 20s, like when I was your age,
mhm.
I was I was a traveling musician. I was drinking, I was doing whatever, and I just
Yeah.
didn't care about life. I only cared about myself, where I was going to be, how much money I was making, where I was sleeping pretty much was the only thing I cared about.
Mm,
But it's good to see someone your age already into a mindset where I am at my age because it
mhm,
took me an extra 15 years to get the mindset that you have at your
mhm.
age. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
literally did take me a long time, like until I like quit drinking and like that
yeah.
clarity came. That's when I started realizing, okay, there's more to life. Like I need to
Mhm,
open my eyes. And it's crazy is like when I woke up, that's when all the traumatic stuff actually happened. Like
mhm.
when I was awake, I wasn't not when I was numb and I wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention. It was when I woke up and I was like, oh, life is amazing. I love life. And then it was just like, here, have this, have this, have
That's how
this.
life works. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
But you know what? I show up every day. I'm still positive because I learned my lessons about
Mhm.
the little things, how beautiful life really can be, and like that positive mantra, and like just going out and helping people because people might not believe in karma, but believe me or not, just if you go out there and do things for others without the want or need for it back, you'd be amazed how much your life will change.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly how I'm here. I didn't speak about that, but I got into this position because that same Discord I've been talking about, I started answering questions in that small crypto section. Then I started asking the questions, then answering the questions, and then I became a mod somehow. And all of this is free. I didn't know you can get paid by modding in Discord at this point. Like, I was just doing it showing up, you know?
Whoever told you, they ruined it. We had a
And
good
then
one for free.
man, I was just doing it all for free, enjoying it, and then that's when someone from the community creates their own company and hires me, and now I'm getting paid for doing what I was initially doing in the very beginning and never asked for it. So, completely agreed. Like, do what you like doing. Don't ask or expect anything for return. You can still want something, but don't ask or expect for it, and then see what happens.
Yep. Yep. That's for sure. Well, I just want to say that I am very appreciative of you in the space. I am so glad that we met, through, and it was through Decoders pretty much that I
Yeah.
met you. So very thankful for that, even though I've been in Sharky and we would have probably crossed paths somewhere else.
Yeah.
Very thankful to have met you. You're a very positive person in the space. I have nothing but respect for you. Continue doing what you're doing. I know I don't need to tell you that, but sometimes some reassurance from other people does go a long way.
It does,
And
yeah.
again, I will encourage you to branch off a little bit onto that stuff that you're passionate about, because bringing more of yourself out into this world is
Mhm.
only going to be a good thing for
Mhm.
everybody else. And I mean that in a way, like saying,
Mhm.
because you have a light inside you, let it shine.
Yeah.
And I
I
know you know
appreciate
this.
that.
I can tell you know this because I can see it in you, and
I
you're
appreciate
you're
that,
self
Jazz.
aware. But like I said, sometimes it helps to just hear it come from someone other than the voice inside your head. But I see it in you. It's a vibe. I
Mhm.
see the energy. You have it. So very thankful for you in this
Thank you
space.
so much.
So rare to find people like you in this space. So everybody, if you don't know Nepa, uh, this Twitter link should be in the video. Give her a follow. Make sure you show up to some spaces because, again, one of the best space hosts is always a good time. Hang out. If you're in Sharky, say hello. If you ever have any questions, I'm sure she'll be the one to answer. Anything about lending, borrowing, all that good stuff. Because I've learned a lot in our 24-hour stream. I was asking you so many questions. I was like,
I
wait,
know.
so what if like we're supposed to be providing content, but I was providing myself information.
Hey,
I
that
was
that works.
I was extracting that information and I was taking advantage of it. But that's what it's about. But everybody else learned, I'm sure, too, that day. So Much love to you.
Yeah.
I know we could go on for hours and hours and hours and continue to talk, but that's what part two, part three, part four is for. So
Please, because I missed the opportunity of wearing my DeCod3rs hoodie.
it's okay. Yeah, that's
I
right.
have one.
You do have one
Yes,
of these. Yeah.
I do, and I have a pen, and I missed the opportunity. So
Well,
please have me on again.
I do have some ideas. I will DM you for other kinds of ideas, not so much just talking about you, but like
Okay.
having you involved in a show where your perspective is very important.
Mm,
So I think it would be cool, it'll be a good fit. So I'll DM you for sure. We'll get you back on the show. And of course, you're always welcome. Sharky's always welcome to come on the show. And your new project that you spoke of, once you get to that point where you can pitch it and you want to talk about it, I'm sure
yes.
myself or Vince can have you on the show. We could talk a little bit about it and dive into it. But do you have anything else you want to say to the DeCod3r listeners or anybody out there in the interwebs that might stumble across this video?
Just appreciate you guys all for tuning in and spending the time with us. I'm super grateful to have an audience, super grateful to have a platform like this to speak on. Because, like I said, I love sharing my experiences, sharing like my life and its insights. I'm a firm believer, like, if you have a voice, utilize it. Because, people, like you said, if you only share more of yourself out there, there's only positives, especially if you're a good person. So, appreciate you, Jazz, for hosting this. Appreciate the coders for doing what you guys are doing. And hopefully I'll be back on here soon. I'll
Yeah.
be here. I'll be here tomorrow, y'all. Y'all can see me on Twitter.
Well, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. Again, I always say it, time is more valuable than money. You spending an hour of your time with us is more valuable than me having you give me
Absolutely.
a couple soul right now. So that time is much appreciated. Much love to everybody out there. Everybody enjoy your night, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.